Hi, my name is Shelly Malik, and I'm from the Wikimi School of Communication and Information from Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. Today, I will be presenting my paper, Behind the Naming of Plant-Based Meat Alternatives, Informative or Misleading. Okay, the demand for meat has been growing worldwide, and this demand exerts great pressure on the environment and also animals. So in view of this, a few meat alternative products have been developed recently, and one of them is made from plant ingredients such as pea, wheat, and soy. So these meat alternative products are designed to mimic the taste, texture, and look of animal meat products. However, debates abound about how these meat alternative products should be named, specifically whether meat-related terms can be allowed to name these products. So let's take a look at one of the packaging examples here. So it says chicken-free chicken, wild meaty chunks. So do you think this is confusing or clear enough? So plant-based meat companies are saying that these meat-related terms are informative in terms of informing consumers about the taste and the cooking method of the meat alternative product. On the other hand, the proponents think that the use of these meat terms is misleading because they can make consumers think that the products contain real meat. Essentially, the debate center around the use of meat terms in the product name, whether they could be misleading or informative. So in the present research, I argue that the product name in the labeling can be differentiated further into three components. The first component is the product format description, which is the shape or format of the product, for example, round shape for burger. The second component is the animal ingredient term, which is the animal source, such as the chicken, beef, or pork. And these two components form the meat-related terms that are at the center of the debate. So the other alternative proposal is for not using the meat-related terms, but instead replace them with totally novel terms such as replacing burger with discs. And the third component is the qualifier, which is a disclaimer to indicate that the product is not actually made from animal ingredients, not made from animal meat at all. So there are a lot of qualifiers used in the market at the moment, such as plant-based, meatless, meat-free, vegetarian, and so on, or even the more contentious chickenless and chicken style, and there is no standard definition with any of these qualifiers. Okay, so the purpose of this paper is to examine perceptions surrounding the naming of plant-based meat alternatives in the use of these components mentioned earlier, the product format description, the animal ingredient terms, and the qualifiers. And this is part of a larger research examining perceptions surrounding the product name of plant-based meat alternatives. And the one I'm presenting here is specifically from the food industry professionals. So we actually conducted survey in a large industry food exhibition in Singapore. We managed to get a sample of 271, and we asked them about the acceptability of the use of meat-related terms, product format description, and animal ingredient terms, and the reasons for the acceptance or non-acceptance, and the preferred qualifiers. So 32% of the respondents were males, aged between 21 to 63 years old. Most of them claimed to be familiar with plant-based meat products, and most of them were omnivores. Okay, for the results itself, in terms of the acceptability of the use of meat-related terms, 65% agreed that plant-based meat products can use product format description associated with meats such as nuggets, burgers in their product name. In contrast, only 27% agreed that the plant-based meat products can include animal meat terms such as beef, pork, or chicken in the product name. For the reasons for acceptance, more respondents actually agreed that the use of meat-related product format descriptors could inform consumers about the product's taste and cooking method, significantly more respondents than those who agreed that for the use of animal ingredient terms in communicating these aspects. On the other hand, there were significantly greater concerns for the use of animal ingredient terms in making consumers think that the product contained meats or meat byproducts. However, there is no significant difference in the use of both terms in making consumers think that the product contains similar nutritional qualities as their meat equivalent products. In terms of replacing the meat-related terms with totally novel terms, such as replacing burger with this, to differentiate the plant-based meat products from their meat equivalents, there's really a mixed opinion about it between those who agreed, disagreed, and were neutral. Okay. The next is part related to the qualifier. So the most preferred qualifier is actually plant-based, with almost 50% of them preferring this particular qualifier. But there are also those who prefer qualifier framed in an absence of meat, such as meat-free or meatless, and also meat alternative. Interestingly, 10% chose meat alternative, but this particular qualifier is actually not commonly used in the packaging of plant-based meat products available in the market at the moment. Okay, we also asked about what they thought about the standardization of qualifiers, which means that whether all plant-based meat products should just use one qualifier, let's say plant-based, instead of a variety of qualifiers. And 64% actually agreed with this suggestion to be able to differentiate the plant-based meat products versus the meat products more easily. We also asked whether the term plant-based itself can evoke associations with healthiness and sustainability, or better for the planet, and 65% actually agreed with these possibilities. So in conclusion, when comparing the product format descriptions with the animal ingredient terms, we found that the meat-related product format descriptions were more acceptable, and they were also more informative in informing about the product's taste and cooking method, and they were less likely to make consumers think that the plant-based meat products contain meat or meat byproducts. And there were also divided views on replacing meat-related terms with totally novel terms. So in view of all these, we recommend that the use of meat-related product format descriptions could continue, but the use of animal ingredient terms should probably be dropped. And for the qualifier, the most preferred qualifier is plant-based, and there is also a preference for standardization of qualifiers. So probably plant-based can be used to standardize the qualifier for all plant-based meat products to make it more easily identifiable and differentiated than the meat products. But there are concerns about the possibility of the term plant-based to evoke associations about healthiness and also sustainability, which may not be true, creating halo effects, but this needs to be proven in future studies. With that, I end my presentation. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Thank you.